by Zach Cox.
Okay. Thanks, Bill. The final drive, we talked about it a little bit after the game, just with the benefit of time. How did you feel the scenario played out, holding that timeout a little bit? After Edelman made the catch with 28 seconds left, you guys had 3 plays after that.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Next question, Zach Cox, followed by Matt Vautour.
Hi, Bill. Much larger workload for Kyle Duggar last night. How do you feel like he handled that increase in snaps and responsibilities?
Yeah, I think Kyle did a good job. He learns a lot every day, both in practice and in the games, and had a larger number of snaps last night in the kicking game and on defense, and did a lot of good things. There's still obviously things that he's learning about and will learn from, and will improve the next time. But I think he's tracking well.
Next question, Matt Vautour, and I'll invite anybody else to raise a hand to ask a question.
Bill, you had Jakob pass last night. Were you happy with the way that he continued to develop even after he went on IR last year, that he was able to, especially given his unusual football background, that he was able to still sort of progress to be in a situation where you could count on him early in the season?
Right. Well, he wasn't able to do much last year after he was injured and went on injury reserve. But he had a good spring this year and a good training camp, and he was able to build off last year's experience, which was very new for him. And he came a long way last year, probably as amongst the furthest that I've ever coached. Probably in the top 5 anyway. So this year he was light years ahead of where he was last year in the spring, and that gave him a lot of confidence and gave us a lot of confidence in terms of what he could do, what his skills were, and the adjustments he was able to make and so forth. So he's continued to progress, and although the jumps are smaller now because he's already made some enormous jumps, but he continues to improve and get better and refine his techniques and his skill set. So he's a young player that works very hard and has continued to improve.
Could you see him kind of being a regular part of the passing game? Has he shown you enough to kind of continue to expand that role?
Yeah, I think he has an opportunity to expand all the roles that he has. Again, he's a young guy that hasn't played a lot of football. Just played a few games last year before he was injured, and this year, we've only played 2 games. We haven't had preseason games and all that. So as he continues to get snaps under his belt and show his in-game skills and ability to perform and make adjustments and all those kind of things, both on offense and in the kicking game, if he can continue to do things well and add value to his role and to the team, then he'll definitely get more opportunities.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Next question, Steve Sanchez, followed by Doug Kine.
Thanks, Stacy. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Steve.
Just want to know what your thoughts on hurry-up offense, like in the second half, and how did you think that went for the team?
We're behind by 2 scores there. We, need to press it, and thought that, overall we executed it fairly well. There's certainly always room for improvement, but we're able to do that, in the situation that we need to do it in. So, how much we'll do that going forward and all, we've done in the past. It's always an option for us, but we'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome,
Next
Steve.
question, Doug Kine, followed by Andrew Callahan.
Hey, Bill. N'Keal Harry was targeted 7 times in the fourth quarter last night. What's it just say about his development that Cam was trusting him in some downfield situations on those throws.
Yeah, well, Nikhil's continued to work hard, and his role has expanded from what it was his rookie season. Similar to what we talked about with Yak, but obviously he was in a totally different situation coming in here as a draft choice as opposed to an international player. But nevertheless, he's made steady strides and an improvement in his game, and he's now lined up in different positions, and is able to add some variety to his route tree and the roles on the team that he can perform. So, again, when you throw a pass, it's not designed to go to one guy. That's unless it's a screen pass. That's just not really the way it works. But based on the coverages and the way things turned out, he got more opportunities, and I'm sure if he continues to be productive, that those opportunities will increase.
Next question, Andrew Callahan, followed by Mike Giardi.
Bill, last night we were talking with Devin McCourty, who intimated basically in some of the touchdowns that were given up, there's no answer for just a perfect pass. Having reviewed the film, how many of Russell Wilson's touchdown passes there just looked like good defense to you, but better offense?
Yeah, well, definitely, the two to Metcalf and Moore were great throws. Wilson's a tremendous quarterback. I've said that multiple times. He's very, very difficult to play against for a multitude of reasons. But the deep ball accuracy is probably at the top of the list for me. So he does an incredible job on that. We defended a number of deep balls. Some were thrown, some weren't thrown. But they try to attack us down the field, but those two in particular, and then they hit the one, the last touchdown on another guy right in his face, and he made a great throw under pressure there, on their final touchdown. So he hurt us on those plays, and as well as some others, and yeah, you hope you don't face that type of execution every week, but it's the National Football League, and there's going to be times, and we know as a defensive back in the passing game, there's going to be times where we're going to have great coverage, and if it's a great throw and a great catch by the quarterback and the receiver, that the opponents are going to hit some of those. Hopefully, not too many, but we want to make it as hard on them as we can, and sometimes even when you do that, it's not enough at this level. So, throw and catch that Julio Jones made in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was just a tremendous football play, from Ryan to Jones, and I don't think we could have possibly covered it any better than we did. So you just you have to give them credit on those plays. But there are plenty of other plays that we could have helped ourselves on, and we could have coached better, and we could have played better, and so those are the ones that we'll focus on and try to continue to do the right things on every play. But I'm sure that there'll be a couple along the line that when you face great players and great coaching and great competition at this level, sometimes they're just gonna get you on it.
Thank you.
Next question, Mike Giardi, followed by Mike Reese.
Afternoon, Bill. I wanted to ask you, when we were talking to Jed Fish last week, he made a comment about Cam's mechanics and saying he wants to marry the head with the lower body because you don't really want to change his throwing motion. And I'm just curious how you felt like Cam has come with regards to that over whatever it's been, about the 2 months that you've had him.
Yeah, Cam's worked really hard on his throw mechanics, and I've seen significant improvement in the last, during that time. Cam's the type of guy, when you point out something to him and ask him to work on it, he works very hard, and he really tries to do it the way that you ask him to do it. So I can't ask him to do any more than what he's doing, but he's definitely made some modifications in his mechanics and his delivery. I think that's helped his accuracy and the timing a little bit. And Coach Fish and Coach McDaniels as well as Cam, have worked very hard on, certain things that we're doing that maybe he hasn't done as much of in the past, or we're doing a little differently, whatever the case might be. But, he works very hard at his fundamentals and techniques and the execution of the passing game, and the results have been, positive, and I'd say, significantly better on those certain types of plays that, those adjustments need to be made on.
If I could just follow Bill on that, without breaking down every single incomplete pass, are there times when you look back, like last night, there were a couple balls, I think, to Demir on the outside where he threw it, he was inaccurate. Do you look at those and say, if we can just clean up the mechanics there, that throw was made, as opposed to, being late or behind?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say generally speaking, his accuracy outside is pretty good. I'd say he's, right there at the top, in throwing the ball out on, really anywhere on the field, but particularly outside. Knows some hard throws, and he does a pretty good job on that. So I wouldn't say that's really been where the focus is, but. Look, every pass is an important pass, and there's none that we take for granted, and certainly for the quarterback, it's, you want to put every ball right there in a strike zone. That's your job, but I wouldn't say that that's really been the main focus of it. No.
Thanks, Bill.
Mike Reese, followed by Tom Curran.
Bill, on the final play, what stood out to you when you watched it over as the key factor or factors that contributed to that being stopped short?
Seattle played it well. They made a good play. They had a couple guys that really, made a good play on it. We didn't really, we didn't have a great shot at it as it turned out.
Next question, Tom Curran, followed by Megan O'Brien.
Hey, Bill. I'm just trying to go through that whole situation toward the end with not calling a timeout, and kind of explaining why there's not one right answer. And you could spike it, you could call the timeout, you could do what you did, and the ability to have control over the situation and continue with a run-pass option. I figured that might have been one thing that entered into it, because it certainly did with the completion to Nikhil. You still had the opportunity to take the timeout, and it didn't have to be a fire drill. And I know you've already talked about it a little bit, but I just want to try and present it to folks to say, well, here's why the different things can work.
Well, I think you pretty much summed it up right there. So, we were able to stop the clock and get the play run that we wanted to run. That was the critical play in the game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I think that's the position you want to be in, not, having to race up to the ball and, try to come up with something, especially on the 1 yard line at the last second. I mean, it's doable, but it's hard to do. When you have the team on the run in a 2-minute drill, and you can go to the line and run the play that you're familiar with running, and try to, score while they're scrambling a little bit. There's certainly some merit to that, but I'm fine with the way that we ended up with a chance to run the play that we wanted to run at the end of the game. That just didn't work out. So I would take that over a lot of other situations that could come up.
Thanks very much.
And it looks like the final question, sorry to those we didn't get to, but the final question will be Megan O'Brien.
Hey, Coach. Last week, Nick Folk was promoted to the 53-man roster, and I was just wondering how you would assess the team's current situation at kicker.
Nick's our kicker.
All right, we'll end on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, great. Thank you.
There's nothing better than fall together with the signature pumpkin spice iced latte or pumpkin iced coffee. Pumpkin is back at Dunkin'. Enjoy contactless ordering on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!
Ready or not. Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
My Caleb sofa and love seat. With Bob's discount, you get both pieces for just $7.99.
$7.99? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Yes. You look like you're joking.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Get Bob's discount! There's nothing better than fall together with the signature pumpkin spice iced latte or pumpkin iced coffee. Pumpkin is back at Dunkin'. Enjoy contactless ordering on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil.